Our top story today from the GatewayPundit.com. Here is a full list of GOP lawmakers who opposed the spending bill, which received unanimous Democrat support. We're covering this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today, Jim Hoff reports that there's a full list of GOP lawmakers who oppose the spending bill, which received unanimous Democrat support, and here they are. Well, it turns out that on Friday, the House of Representatives passed a government funding bill, narrowly averting a shutdown just before the midnight deadline. The bill, which received unanimous support from Democratic lawmakers, faced opposition from 38 Republican members who voted against it. The approved legislation provides temporary funding to keep federal operations running until March 14th of 2025 and includes $100 billion for disaster relief and $10 billion for agricultural assistance. However, it excludes Trump's demand to raise the debt ceiling. Now, the House approved the funding bill with a bipartisan vote of 366 to 34, sending it to the Senate for a swift passage. Now, more Democrats supported the new bill with a vote count of 196 to 170. You can see that here. But the 34 GOP lawmakers opposing the bill cited concerns over increased spending and the absence of significant fiscal reform. The 34 Republicans who voted against the resolution are as follows: Jim Banks, Andy Biggs, Dan Bishop, Lauren Boebert, Josh Brachin, Tim Burkett, Eric Burleson, Michael Cloud, Andrew Clyde, Eli Crane, John Curtis, Scott Desjarlais, Russ Fulcher, Tony Gonzalez, Bob Good, Lance Gooden, Glenn Grothman, Andy Harris, Diana Harshbarger, Wesley Hunt, Debbie Lesko, Monica De La Cruz Lopez, Nancy Mace, Thomas Massey, Rich McCormick, Corey Millis, Alex Mooney, Andy Ogles, Scott Perry, Matt Rosendale, Chip Roy, Keith Self, Tom Tiffany, and Beth Van Dune. Below are some of the statements from the Republicans who voted against the bill. Representative Andy Biggs wrote that I voted against continuing to bankrupt our future generations. The credit card is maxed out, but the Uniparty just keeps swiping it. Watch for more. It turns out that you can find out his statement on it. He had a lot to say. Check this out.
Hi, Andy Biggs here from Arizona's 5th Congressional District. I just came from the floor where the vast majority of Republicans and Democrats joined together to vote for a bill that continues the Biden spending levels, continues all the Biden programs through the end of March. It even includes, I'm told, the payment for the Key Bridge disaster in Baltimore area in Maryland, where a private company destroyed that bridge, which was private, and it was told. So this is what we get, and it adds an additional $110 billion without paying for it. And to hear the Democrats that were debating on it just not too long before, as I listened into them, they were saying it was audacious for us to ask that we find some way to pay for that instead of just adding to the national debt. I proposed something apparently quite strange around here, that we take the appropriations bills that were required by law to pass out, and even though the House only passed 5, they covered more than 70% of the actual spending, and I proposed sending that over to the Senate, and then proposed a smaller paid-for disaster relief for the hurricane victims as well as the farmers, and also laying money on the table so that on January 21st, the Border Patrol and Tom Holman and ICE would have money in the bank ready to go so they could pay for the deportation and border security projects that President Trump has said he wanted. We would have paid for that by taking it away from the IRS money, $40 billion that's going to IRS for new agents. So that's the Merry Christmas coal that...
Yeah, and it seems like the opposition is there. But the thing is, okay, look, they brought the Porculus bill down from 1,500 pages to about 120. And there was by no means any perfect way that we can get a budget across before the end of the year. But it does seem like in many ways that we did get the budget down to at least cutting out a lot of the fat, including getting rid of some of the crazy raises that were going on, building the extra stadium. And there's some weird stuff in that bill. And I feel like, the fact that we got somewhere with this is better than getting nowhere at all. Now, that being said, I do want to remind you guys of something very important. We've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams are the easiest way to look younger, but now one doctor says that's old news. Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, claims most wrinkle fixes are just glorified moisturizers, barely making a dent in your appearance, and some could even be harmful. Now, Dr. Lake has shifted his focus to a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough. Some call it Photoshop for the face because it works so well. His clients have dubbed it the Age Rewinder method, taking years off of your appearance in under 2 minutes. He's released a free step-by-step video to the public, which has now gone viral with over 2.3 million views. People are raving about looking decades younger. One viewer said that this was the best results of anything they used, saying, "I cannot believe how well this works." Want to see for yourself? Go to bhmd1.com/pundit or click the link in the description below. Dr. Lake asks that if this video helps you look and feel younger, share it with your friends. Let's help us reclaim our youthful look and get the gift that keeps on giving, which is youth. Visit bhmd1.com/pundit. That's bhmd1.com/pundit today. Now, that being said, in other news, it turns out here's what is included in the American Relief Act 2025, which recently just passed. Jim Hoff reports. Well, in a dramatic last-minute effort to avert a government shutdown, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a continuing resolution late Friday evening, funding federal agencies through March 4th of 2025, or March 14th. The bill passed with a 336-34 vote and now awaits Senate approval and Biden's signature to become law. More Democrats supported the new bill with a vote count of 196 to 170. Below is a breakdown of the funding allocations across various sectors. This section extends government funding until March 14th, ensuring the uninterrupted operation of essential federal programs. Some of the key allocations is the District of Columbia Emergency Planning, $90 million allocated for emergency planning, including $50 million for 2025 presidential inauguration. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, $625 million to maintain the geostationary Earth orbit acquisition schedule. I don't even know what that is, by the way. A lot of times you see budgets, it's just like, we have geostationary acquisition. But do we really even know what that is? Do we? No, we don't. The Federal Bureau of Investigation gives $16.6 million for cybersecurity and national security system upgrades. Defense shipbuilding, $5.96 billion for Columbia-class submarine construction. $2.92 billion for additional Columbia-class submarine activities. $5.6 billion for Virginia-class submarine production and workforce improvements. Treasury Department cybersecurity, $908,000 for terrorism and financial intelligence measures. Education support, funds for student loan servicing and aid processing. Can't forget that. But in Division B, there's now disaster relief supplemental appropriations. Focused on addressing the aftermath of natural disasters from 2023 to 2024, this section allocates billions for recovery and infrastructure support. Disaster relief for agriculture, that's $30.7 billion for crop, livestock, and infrastructure losses due to natural disasters in 23 and 24, including $2 billion earmarked for livestock losses and $10 billion for economic assistance. There's $30 million for crop insurance reimbursements and $3 million for molasses testing. Emergency conservation programs is $828 million to restore disaster-affected conservation projects. There's emergency forest restoration, $356 million to rehabilitate damaged forests. There's $920 million to restore watersheds impacted by severe weather. Now, in rural development, it gets even more interesting. There's $362 million for rural infrastructure recovery projects. With food assistance, there's $25 million for emergency food aid infrastructure. And with economic development, there's $1.51 billion for flood mitigation, disaster recovery, and infrastructure restoration. The NOAA disaster recovery is $244 million for repair and replacement of observing assets, mapping systems, and geodesy services. $499 million for Hurricane Hunter aircraft and disaster response tools. And Fisher Disaster Assistance, $300 million to support fisheries affected by natural disasters. Now, there's obviously more that goes into this as well, including public health and Medicare. There's Medicare support, public health programs, Medicaid adjustments. Division D, there's defense and infrastructure, including Army disaster recovery, $451 million for repairing damage caused by storms. Navy recovery operations, $1.4 billion to address disaster-related costs. There's facilities repair, $740 million for repairing infrastructure damaged by hurricanes. There's federal prison systems, $64 million. Marshal services, $12 million. Veterans affairs, and more. According to Charlie Kirk, the new bill is still a win for conservatives and President Trump. He wrote, big win for Trump in Congress. He first blocked the awful CR. He now has a clean one with no Democrat pork or member pay raise, including massive economic and disaster aid for farmers and states affected by the hurricanes. He cut the bill 95% in length, down from 1,500 pages. He eliminated the J6 committee protection provision and cut out a State Department agency associated with censorship. He was already running Congress before he even takes office. And for that, it's like, Biden essentially just gave up, right? I mean, is that guy even actually running anything? I don't know. Now, that being said, a New York Congresswoman warns removing Mike Johnson as Speaker could block certification of President Trump on January 6th. Jim Hoff reports that during an interview with Mornings with Maria Bartiromo, Representative Claudia Tenney issued a stark warning about the implications of removing Mike Johnson as Speaker of the House. Tenney emphasized that chaos that could ensue if the GOP cannot rally behind a leader in time to certify President Trump's re-election victory. This development comes amid growing dissatisfaction among some Republicans with Speaker Johnson's recent decision to collaborate with Democrats on a 1,500-page bloated bill to prevent a government shutdown. The CR, which extends government funding temporarily, has been criticized by conservative members who feel that it concedes too much to Democrat priorities. Senator Mike Lee accused Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and House Speaker Mike Johnson of secretly negotiating a bloated $1.7 trillion spending bill behind closed doors for nearly 3 months. She also revealed more on the interview. We'll watch it here in just a moment because I'm going to tell you, look, I don't know if it's going to cause any issues when it comes to getting him elected, but this feels more like a threat and less like a warning. What do you think?
They're saying Mike Johnson is surrendering to the Democrats. That's why his leadership role is being questioned right now. Do you think his leadership role is in jeopardy? I mean, the vote is January 3rd.
Probably because there are people that won't vote for him. I think he's done a really good job as Speaker in a really difficult situation. But here's the situation. Who are they going to put in that's going to do a better job?
Well,
there's never going to be anyone.
Floated.
Kevin McCarthy brought in some
right now. You got
bills.
Congressman Jim Jordan, Congressman Byron Donalds, House Majority Whip Tom Emmer. I mean, there's even people who are talking about Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Talk about unelected. Would you vote for any of these people for Speaker, or are you going to vote for Mike Johnson?
Look, we'll see who's up in the Speaker race. I voted for Jim Jordan last time when he was up for Speaker, and then he didn't get the votes. You know, I voted, and then that was it. And then Mike Johnson came up, and that's who we had. But understand, here's another important point, Maria, for you next year. If we don't have a Speaker on January 3rd, and we go through the circus that we went in with everybody demanding and leveraging Kevin McCarthy like we did last year, when in his Speaker race, and we don't get a Speaker by January 6th, this is a presidential year, we cannot certify our President Trump to be the President of the United States to start the agenda in order for him to take office on January 20th. So are we going to continue to scapegoat a Speaker who I think is doing a very tough job in a very tough environment?
Yeah, I mean, are we going to continue to scapegoat him? I don't think we're scapegoating our public officials. A lot of people use that word very loosely. You know, are we scapegoating these people? When we criticize our leaders and ask for better accountability, this is not about scapegoating. This is about holding them their feet to the fire, right? This is about giving them the responsibility that they asked for, which is that wanting to be leaders of our country, they have to earn our support. They don't just get it. Now, that being said, guys, it is really important to talk about this. I don't know if you know, but MyPillow, which has been around for quite some time, is having their Christmas extravaganza. And one of the most important things we can talk about this is the fact that they have the best deals right now on their flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Plus, you can get their slippers for the same price, usually $120, and their pillows are only $14.88, which is their lowest price ever. When you go to their website, it's so crazy. Orders ship free over $75. Look at this. You get their pillows, $14.88 with my promo code Elijah. There's these dream sheets, absolutely amazing. Towel sets. This is all made in America stuff with the quality from people who love you and love this country. Mike Lindell, the owner, has fought for election integrity. He's been making a great company, and stores, guess what, have been canceling their orders of MyPillow products this Christmas season to get back at him so that he can't earn money. Because why? Because he's a Trump supporter. Look, Trump supporters, Republicans, we got to get behind our own people and support our own businesses. Pick up any one of these products right now with my promo code Elijah at MyPillow, or call 1-800-210-8491. It's not too late. It's right before Christmas. If you're seeing this, get yourself your MyPillow products at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-210-8491. Again, the MyPillows are only $14.88 right here with my promo code Elijah. Use it at checkout. That's so amazing, and I'm really excited to be a partner with them because I do love their products. Now, that being said, CNN's Scott Jennings, when is accountability coming for those who lied to the American people? Well, let's talk about this. Mike LaChance reports that CNN's Scott Jennings, the conservative breakout media star of 2024, recently called out Democrats and the media for reportedly covering up Biden's condition over the last 4 years. He asks when accountability is coming for the people who went on TV and lied to the American people over and over again. He refers to this as the biggest scandal in America, and he drives the point home using facts. Now, I have the full clip for you because the question is, look, I remember for years everyone told me, Biden just has a stutter. Do you guys remember that nonsense? Biden isn't really cognitively declining. Was he not? Listen.
I just have to ask when the accountability is going to come for every single person who sat in front of a television, who held some position of responsibility and lied their rear end off about what they were seeing behind closed doors. People came on television and said, oh, I'm with him all day and he's really engaged and he's doing the job and he's running circles around us and these videos are cheap fakes and on and on and on. Brazen lying by people who work for our government, and they lied to us about it.
Yeah, they lied to us about it time and time again until look, he was cognitively okay. This is what I hate about the gaslighting, right? We knew for years that Biden was cognitively declining, and the way that the media continually defended him, how can we ever believe them again? I won't. I'll never believe them ever again for the rest of my life because these people have lied to me too many times to give them another second chance. That being said, an update as New Jersey residents near drone hotspots reporting strange tasting, weird smelling water. According to Jack Davis, first, the sky over multiple New Jersey towns was a winky, blinky nightmare with mystery drones burrowing into the fears of residents. And now multiple towns in central New Jersey are dealing with stinky water. Social media has connected the dots. A mysterious drone sighting over Round Valley Reservoir and the Hunterdon County 911 in Flemington Country, also flying near the largest reservoir in Clinton and surrounding buildings. But now the residents of New Jersey have questions about, do we still use the water? You should read more of that amazing story as it is quite interesting and has extreme turns and a lot of cliffhangers that I don't have time to get into. But I want to remind you guys, if you want to join our mug club, you can get this amazing mug for the Christmas season. Join it today at thegatewaypundit.com. Support the show. Support yourself in the morning. It is a great mug. I really do enjoy it. Have a great rest of the week. As always, my name is Elijah Schaffer. Have a great rest of the week. Merry Christmas. I'll be taking a week off of these shows next week, and I'll be back in January. May God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.